Third item on the agenda is consider approval of donation to the Lebanon Main Street Committee for Dickens Christmas. That comes out of contributions.
Motion.
Second.
Yes.
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 The next item on the agenda is consider approval to pay for 1/2 of the shooting range. Our estimate was $14,597, and I think we paid 70-some hundred here. I've got it, $76.99.
Look good out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion. Second.
Bishop.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Quayle.
Yes.
Mr. Elder.
Yes.
Unanimous.
The next item on the agenda is to consider discussion of CD&D options at the transfer station. I know we probably got, Keith, another 6 months that we're going to be okay, but if we wait till a couple more months and a couple more months, next thing you know, we put it off too long. So just knowing what we need to do going forward is kind of what I'm trying to get to happen tonight. So
What have y'all decided on that there, Jimmy? How you gonna do it?
Let me ask you this.
Figures there together showing the cheapest route.
So let me ask you this. We had talked about, and I'd like to know what you think about it, but we had talked about, hadn't we talked about maybe trying temporarily for maybe 90 days or so and get a feel for it? Just contacting Nelson County and getting a dumpster to sit out there and just see how that went. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have to do something, but when you look at spending $100,000 to $1,000 or $164,000, I think it'd be kind of nice to know what we're actually dealing with here.
Are we going to concrete the area that they're going to dump it on, put it in the dumpsters? Okay, to put them 2 dumpsters out there, it's not going to
Right.
work the way I'm going to do it,
Can't dig out. Set a dumpster there?
We could dig it out and set a dumpster, but we can't concrete a platform. Okay, it's going to be a lot lower than what we're going to use for the other trade, I mean, I guess we could try it on gravel.
No, I see what you're saying.
Temporarily, and then
gravel
gravel area.
Yeah. Gravel. We can't just set them 2 dumpsters there and then pour a concrete slab down. We're going to dig back up.
yeah.
Well, what I'm talking about is a temporary basis, just to see. I mean, it's whatever y'all think. I mean, we can do whatever you want. I think it would be good data to have if we just try that out. It's not going to be a tremendous cost to do that. And I think it would be a good idea or data to have if we did it for, say, 3 or 4 months, just to get a feel for the amount that we're actually talking about, okay? I know Keith provided us with some information, but I think it would still be good to have that fact or that empirical data to work with. What do y'all think?
Well, like I say, we need to figure out something while the other one's open, because that's when we're going to have to build this one, So if we're going to do that, we probably need to do it like tomorrow. Or, ASAP.
Are you okay with that, Jimmy? Or what's your thought?
Yeah, if we're going to decide to put it out there, we're going to get another transport truck. Because the truck out there now is hauling 3 loads of garbage a day. I mean, that's all we expect him to make over our part of him, 3 trips a day. And, this here is going to be just a little bit more, so we're probably going to have to look into getting another transport truck.
Well, they don't come and get it.
No, Nelson County does,
will
yeah.
come get it.
Yeah. Well, if you don't.
I would say try that
Yeah.
temporarily first and let's see how that works out.
I mean, if you look on the report, it costs more money to do that. I mean, versus what we're talking about doing. But
Well, I think, yeah, I will say this.
Economical.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, don't mean to argue with your numbers, Mr. Brock, because I know they're impeccable. But at the same time, I still believe that I think there's going to be a differential between the two. And I think it would be, personally, it's going to cost us what, $3,000 or $4,000 to start, something like that. So.
If we don't pour no concrete.
Right, exactly. If you put gravel there, dense grade, whatever, but just to see what it would do and see what we're actually dealing with.
To do that,
Plus, that gives us time to see, because here's the other side. I look at your cost here. Do you have the cost of a new transfer truck built into this?
Yeah.
And that's at the $350 per ton?
What now?
I'm looking at your cost on the fairgrounds and so forth, the estimates. And I see your trucking cost at $3.50 a ton. Okay,
No, that's not for the new truck.
that's my point.
No, that's just.
Yeah, so my point is, we don't have, on top of that, we don't have a new truck built into here. And that's gonna be, another,
I gave y'all some paperwork on.
right.
Here a couple months ago about getting a new truck, and we're gonna have to get a load, it's.
Well, you have to if you go, yeah. I just think, I think it's gonna cost us, $3,000 or $4,000 to put that dumpster out there. Yes, I understand that you can look at it, but I don't think we actually have solid factual data in regards to, and I think it would be a good time to do it because you're going through the holiday season here as well. And I think that's, usually there's a lot of stuff moved, okay? So, what do you guys think?
So it's gonna cost almost $29,000 a year.
No,
Huh?
if we, there's two different,
We got right now.
yeah, but that's not counting the truck. That's not including the truck.
To do a temporary thing, you would have to basically close the other one anyway, because you can't have them both open.
Do what?
If you're gonna do a temporary trial thing or something, you're gonna have to close the other one.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to close
I
one
mean,
down on
have
Friday, yeah.
to shut the gate, because if not, people will know which one.
But I'm
goes.
saying, before it gets full, when it gets full, it's too late.
Yeah, yeah.
We,
Well, we know that,
yeah, so why
My
would we
point
pay?
here is that, so go ahead, you're gonna have to shut it down, and if we're gonna get actual fact-based information, we have to shut the current CDD down. We utilize this out here, see what we're dealing with. That's gonna give us a very good idea of, number one, if we're overwhelmed, or number two is that, hey, it's not as bad as what we thought. Plus, that buys us a little time to start to get things developed, because like I said, we've got the budget, or the cost here, okay? We still don't have a truck, but we're gonna have to have a truck, transfer truck, so we don't have that cost figured in here as well. So, I think it would be worth the small initial cost to do the Nelson County portion, just to give us some time to kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with.
And where are you talking about putting it at? I mean, we talked about two spots out there, which one y'all want?
Oh, actually, I thought it would, personally, and you tell me, it's just, you know more about it, I'm just speaking, but personally, I thought that the area there by the little building where you were talking about originally, I think that would have been a perfect place, because I just know if I pull up there, and your guys, here's the other thing is too, is that most citizens, myself included, but most citizens, they don't realize what they can and what they can't throw where, okay? But if we've got it right there, then when they pull up, then our guys out at the transfer station can say, hey, we need, just go on over there, and it should flow very smoothly. But that'll help them out, plus it'll help educate the people, but
Because some of that debris can go in the regular dumpster as
Most
well,
of
we've
it can.
said.
80% of it's gonna go in.
So I would say put it right there beside of it, and that way they can kind of separate.
yeah. Or put it up there where you were talking about, dig that out and put some dense grade, whatever.
I'm saying, this extra truck, 80% of it's gonna go in a regular truck. He's hauling 3 loads a day. We can't expect him to make no more.
We're gonna need another
We're
truck,
gonna have to get another truck.
no matter what.
So would you,
Yeah, when you throw this on top of the.
Now, let me ask you a question, as far as the cost-wise, what's the cost per ton on either, same thing?
It's all the same.
Okay. So the other side of that is too, is that if you're getting the 3 loads a day and so forth, they fill whatever the you can always have, you'll have that dumpster where you can direct them there as well, so, which will help him out actually from a time standpoint. And then also,
It's gonna be hard to put garbage in this old top container. You just can't put garbage in. Just household garbage. They're gonna be coming to get it every day, is what I'm gonna say.
no, I understand. Well, no, you're not going to. I'm saying if you're backed up and it's a bad enough situation, it does offer you a solution.
Right, right, but we've got tractors, I don't look at that shape, it's just, gonna be getting it over there, when it comes to.
Let me say,
Any problem with nails and your tires and stuff?
That's where you go. You go out there right now, you probably your nail in the car.
yeah.
is,
They just keep.
the thing you're talking about now is having like a rollback in Nelson County coming and picking it up?
Yeah, they'll drop 2 off is what they had told me, but they'll drop 2 off. one's there, ready to go, and then when it gets filled or to a certain capacity, you call them, they come over, pick it up, set the other. So, and that's the other side of it is too. We'll see how good they are about response time too. That, obviously, that's a big key as well, so. But I just think it would be worth to see from an overall cost standpoint, what that cost would be before we spend $100 to $170,000 plus another $100,000 on the tractor. And I understand that we're gonna need one down the road, but I just like to see some of this data, okay?
And we're also gonna need a loader and.
It's my money, let's put it this way, if John Elder was writing the check, that's what I'd do. So I'm trying to treat this money, the county's money, just the same way I would mine, so.
What about,
The paper I gave y'all here a while back, you know, I said we're gonna need a thumb on that backhoe out there.
Yeah.
To make this work right.
right, yeah, you do.
So we need to go on and get that now.
Are y'all saying to go on and get this started?
Motion to purchase.
You're gonna have to have it
You
regardless,
need to
so.
get that on there now.
Well, if it's going out there, I need it needs to be on.
So, motion. And you'd already provided that to us, so.
One other thing on this, before we can do this, I'm gonna have to get the permit amended at the transfer station where we can accept CD&D at the transfer station.
Okay.
And I'll get working on that the first week.
Sounds
I
good.
really don't care whether we put it in an open top or the transfer trailer, I don't really care. But, I'll have to get it,
Can we have both sites open? You know, what I'm saying is, can we go back to the other site? If something happens in the next 3 months and if we decide to build the ramp like we talked about to begin with, can we go back to,
yes.
we can, okay.
Yeah, because you're not closing it
Yeah.
permanently, you're just,
No,
you know.
when we close it permanently, we'll put 2 foot of
Right.
cover on top of it and 3 grasses.
Yeah.
Now, what we do is, we have to advertise that we're gonna.
Be temporarily?
change location, and that full house tear downs will not go to the transfer station.
That's exactly right.
People that tear down houses, it's already loaded, it's got to go to Nelson County with it, or somewhere,
And that's where they should be going,
should be.
yes.
Well, they don't really have to go to Nelson County with it.
Oh, they can do what they
Our
want, yeah.
ordinance says that there's 2 things that are exempted from hauling to Nelson County. That's construction debris and recycled material. So they could choose to take that CD&D landfill somewhere else.
Yeah.
They can landfill it somewhere else, closer.
I've got a motion on the floor to purchase the thumb for the backhoe.
Will
Second.
that work for one you've got? I mean, it'll,
The backhoe we got there?
Yeah. okay, yeah.
I've done got a rough price on it, it cost about $9,000, I gave y'all the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Mr. Trevor?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Yes. Mr. Coyle?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker? Yes. Unanimous.
What about the issue with the little brake shed building there? Is that, for this temporary thing, is it gonna be okay, or is it
It'll
gonna?
be okay.
for now?
Yeah, for temporary, you know, and like Keith says, we need to keep that other one open.
Yeah,
Okay, if this don't work, you
We
know,
can-
we're gonna do a major project out there, and we're gonna go back out there for a month or 2
Yeah.
months.
Put it temporarily, can't you, temporarily closed?
well, we're just not used, not closed, it's just, we're just
Inactive.
inactive, yeah,
Yeah.
like us.
Permit will still be active. The gate will be closed, and we'll be accepting it at the transfer station. It'll be the only difference.
We need to do it before next July.
And the lease is paid through June 30th of next year.
So we got to June 30th, so.
Good.
And it's not really a landfill, that's just a transport out here anyway, so we're not storing it, you know. Out here, what we're gonna do, we're not storing it, keeping it.
No.
We don't have to have a permit like a landfill. It's just a transport.
I'll have to amend our permit at the transfer station because we're only allowed to accept household electronics now there.
Oh, out here.
Yes. So I'll get the permit amended. I don't know how long.
But I mean, it's not an acre, we don't have to, it's not like the one out here, it's not a, yeah.
I'll get that permit.
So are you guys, do you guys want to move forward with the temporary, trying the Nelson County just to see how that rolls, how that works?
Quick as he gets the amendment done.
Well, I mean, if you want to do it, we can go ahead and make a motion, so once he gets that, the judge can move forward with what he needs to do, and Jimmy can move forward with what he needs to do. So we're not wasting time.
I've already got the approval from the state to do what we're going to do. matter of me putting the paperwork in, so it shouldn't take more than a week or two to get the amendment.
So the state gave you approval before you turned the paperwork in?
I told them what we were gonna do, and they said, we'll bless it, just submit it, so.
Oh, okay. Well, motion to, for the judge to contact Nelson County and put in a temporary, or put in the dumpster for
They may have
temporary
a time frame. They might have to go by, I don't know.
Who's that?
Nelson County may have a, that might be something
They ready?
they might can do next week, they might can do next month.
Yeah, they can do it about any time you want.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
I personally think either way will work fine.
Yeah,
I think it'll be fine.
yeah, I want to see it, and then just look at and get a good ratio for the cost standpoint, and go from there, so.
I'll second. Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes,
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Number 6, consider approval of overage for incorrectly processed Humana claims. What happened there, it happened at FEMA up here, was Humana was not accepting the full rate of a nurse practitioner service. And that was at the only place that we had the issue with, and it's been corrected, but we had to pay that to get it fixed. These were already done, and
We had to pay claims?
we had to pay where they didn't pick up,
What was the amount?
1,400 and something, it's in here,
Oh,
well, is Humana,
1465.46.
we've had a big problem with them not processing periods. I've got a stack from McGregor that's thick.
actually, I don't
Do
think
they
that's,
not want our business, or?
I don't think that's Humana, that's McGregor, isn't it?
It's McGregor, I think if you,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
give them the
not
wrong
processed.
card was what I was running into, is
yeah.
submitting the wrong card.
Yeah, we
I'll
talked
use
about
the
that
right
the
card.
Yeah, at the last
meeting,
meeting.
yeah.
You've actually, you're supposed to submit that secondary.
Card,
The only thing you're supposed to use the Benny card on is
Medicine.
medicine. Isn't that right?
that's how
You
it
see,
is.
when we,
Well, that's
And I was
totally
given the
confusing.
Benny card at.
they told
like
us in
FEMA.
here to use our primary card
Well,
in
yeah.
Marion County, use our secondary card out of county.
That's correct, and as well as, I mean, it was told, we were told that, what I remember is that we were told basically it was gonna work no different than the Benny card.
If they're gonna change the game, they need to tell all the players.
Well, we announced it last meeting, I don't remember how it was,
Yeah.
but we have, everybody's had some issues with it, and
Yeah.
I think going forward, it'll get better, Judge. I really think it will.
So bottom line is that, so when are you supposed to utilize the McGregor card?
Prescriptions,
Prescriptions, yeah.
The Benny card or the McGregor card?
McGregor.
The Benny, yeah, the Benny.
We
both
use
of
the
them are McGregor.
secondary when you go to the doctor.
Primary is for medicine.
Gotcha. Wow.
So we need a motion so we have to go ahead and pay that amount.
Motion.
To pay the
To clear it
amount.
up.
Yeah.
Second.
Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Webb? Yes. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Unanimous, Judge.
Next item on the agenda is discuss paving costs at the soccer field parking area near the fairgrounds.
I don't want to pay all of it. I think the city needs to help us out.
First of all, what was the projected cost, Judge?
Right there.
64,950.
64,950.
I thought maybe I was reading it wrong, okay? I just thought,
Now, is
It's
that,
over 3 mile road.
For that entire parking lot, yeah.
wow. No, did you say over 3 miles? Wow.
is that, is that cost, is that the county, or is that, say,
There's
Hayden doing, or
Two
what?
different ones here, if you look at it. The other one is us, and the other one is Hayden Materials.
The one at the top, or?
Cheaper for us then. Is any of this, would it be interfered if we did proceed with the,
No, it shouldn't really be. It would be, it wouldn't be located there if it was ever.
I didn't think it would be, but, because I didn't want to do this type blacktopping and then disrupt it.
So the 101,000, that's for,
Based on,
Base only, which you say, what's the life of that, Jimmy?
well, I mean, we
What's this,
And
top
then,
figure? Is it for the whole?
yeah, the tops for the hose kit could be.
Your top.
For everything?
You know, the other question I've got is that if we put, for example, the top seal on, or the base per se, because, you know, obviously you're going to have an issue on weekends, whatever, of people out there doing donuts or whatever. I mean, is this as tough as the,
Yeah, it's as tough as the other.
It's tougher, but it's more porous. It lets
Just a
it
bigger
hold moisture.
material, yeah.
so basically, if we wanted to do the whole thing, we could go 101,000 as long, and I think the court's in agreement, as long as the city would split the cost with us. Is that correct? Is that what you guys are saying?
That's for the base.
Um,
But we need to, have you talked to the city? Have they agreed to?
They've agreed to, so they got a meeting this week and they're gonna discuss it at their meeting also, so, like I say, it
We
is.
just give them $40,000 across the street there.
Something, 60.
It's gonna cost more to come back
So,
later to do the
in
top.
2-3 years, we gotta come back
might as
and
well
do
the whole.
the top 56. So in 2 or 3 years, we'll have to come back and,
That's what I'm wondering, is it
Finish
gonna?
it.
Costs
be
more to do it
issues?
then.
But it'll be settled by then.
You know, the other thing is though, is that, is from a use standpoint, of course, it's, you know, I don't know. The
Countywide.
thought of saving about $40,000 sounds pretty good to me, but,
But-
the other side of it is too, is that I guess, we can do it all for 101. The other thought, how wide is that thing approximately, would you,
300,
300 feet across, and how deep?
I think it's about 3.
So
3 by 3? So
who's-
we could, technically, we could do it all, or we could do maybe half of it.
So who's doing all this work?
that's what I'm thinking, do it.
Are you all doing it, or is Nyland Hayden?
That big of a job, and Judge knows too, you know, we're gonna have to get somebody there to level that up. You don't wanna build a big park like this, gonna hold 8 inches of water.
Is this,
And down at Hayden's bid ain't that much more, and they professionals on this, so I would recommend just let them do it.
what's Nyland Hayden's bid?
3,000 difference.
Behind there,
Where is it?
second page.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to get a piece of equipment with a laser transit, you know, go through there and make sure we got a fall. If you go out there right now with rain, just hold the water.
And the base is good. That rock's been there for, so as long as we get it cut to grade,
So let me ask you a
there's not
question.
gonna be any settling, so.
What if we, I'm just, you know, because obviously we want to help, and I will say this, I can imagine if you've got kids and baby strollers and so forth, I couldn't imagine going across that rock. I mean, that'd be tough. But with that being said, as opposed to doing the whole parking lot, it's 300 by 300, what if we did half the parking lot? That's what I'm saying, okay. So, and that's a good sized area as far as parking.
How much of it do they,
And I don't think I've ever seen, here's the other thing, they have tremendous attendance, it's tremendous, I don't know if I've ever seen the whole parking lot full.
Go out there on Sunday.
Well, I mean, I've seen it,
It's pretty full.
it's
I
pretty
mean,
full, but I don't know if I've seen that.
what about the rocks from the part that wasn't, would it, you know how they'll, would that,
You know, I guess we could do half and mark the front for handicap or something, or, I mean, a lot of people
would you
would.
do the half from the highway back or along the fence, you know, the,
I think,
We need to do from the highway back, because we,
well, actually,
Probably do the soccer field out
yeah,
towards the road.
I think
That's right.
that'd be,
Be
because
more
that's the most
utilized.
uses from the soccer field back.
Lisa's out there, what's,
That area is very used. You should ride out there on Sunday.
I go by there.
You should ride out there the next couple of Sundays. I don't know how you can really do half of it, because it's pretty populated out there.
Well, just make sure you get there early. You know, when we go to church, we on front row parking, you get there early, okay?
Jimmy, if you come back and do
And
the other
they
half
actually
later,
have games on Saturdays and Sundays. I mean,
it's gonna look a lot better to do the whole thing at one time versus coming back and piecing back in.
Be better and everything, you have to do it all.
I mean, it just does a lot better job with blacktop that way.
And like she said, you know, there's that building back there at the soccer field, you just can't do the front half.
Yeah.
Okay, most people walking from the front back to back,
Yeah.
that rest area back there,
I don't know
that
how you just do it and have people park, and then line it up. The way the parking lot's structured and how the fields are, because it's in an L shape, it'd be kind of hard, really, I think, but.
so it's gonna cost us 54 something, right?
if we do the base.
Well, the thing with the base, if we just,
You're better off to go and do the top coat.
I don't think you are, because I think that base would need to settle.
See, I agree. I don't have a problem at all with asphalting. I think it's a great thing. But, I think that
I had
the mothers and fathers that have soccer kids and so forth, baseball, I don't think they're going to be tearing it up. I'm like you, Jackie. I feel better about doing the base coat as a whole first and going from there.
I had a base road right out here for 8 or 10 years.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, hell, we've had highway roads
It's
out
only
here.
used those, during the soccer season is the only time you really
Yeah.
see, in the fair.
Yeah, so
That's the only
and
time-
here's the thing, is you're right, because we've got roads out here that, I can remember growing up, hell, that's all we had was
was
base coat.
Yeah,
I remember the gravel,
Get it, let me
we
say that.
had the gravel.
that would be a big improvement in what's there, just to.
What about,
That's for blacktop.
the other issue was,
Tougher than
could
regular
they
top.
stripe it in some way without,
Stripe it.
that's another issue. People don't park.
Well, I think the only thing you would need to, personally, I mean, in a large parking lot like that, I would think the only thing you really need to stripe or paint would be the handicap,
I'm
area,
not,
so many handicaps.
well, I'm not talking about for us doing it. I'm saying that when you got a big area that people, they don't park like you think people park. They park every which way and block people in and block the drive.
Well, let's do this. How about this? Are we willing to do this? How about this? Would you guys be willing to go along with the, doing the whole parking lot, putting start with the base coat at 108, let Nellie and Hayden take care of it. They'll get it nice and level, take care of it. We pay half, the city pays half. Once we get that done, and make sure we mark off so many spots for handicap immediately or up front. And once we get that done, then we can look at,
Or they could even,
Striping.
they could do a temporary, they could do something themselves, a temporary line, or like they do the football field.
yeah, might be able to get the
Paint a roller
park,
down through
yeah,
there.
might be able to get the park crew or,
Yeah, we can get
So,
that.
You know, that's what I'm saying, they could, once if there's some kind of a base there, then they could
yeah,
put something down to kind of give people an idea where, for the driving lanes and.
Yeah.
And, because without something, they park, I've been out there, they park, you think you can get out and all of a sudden you're blocked in.
Yeah.
Motion to approve to pay half of the $101,000 and as long as the city pays the other half for the base coat. Or 108,000, I'm sorry. I was still trying to get by.
City's paying half.
Second,
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Coyle?
yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Thank you all. If that'd be addition to our parking lot.
Is that something,
That'll help out the fair as well.
It will.
they're on a time frame? Is that something if the city's, is that something they could maybe get done?
When do y'all want this done? When do y'all think we need it? This year?
Yeah, if it could, that's what I'm, because
Well-
blacktop right now is a cheaper, according to them, right now is it's cheaper than it has been.
I guess it depends on their bid. What's their bid saying from a time standpoint? Does it
We didn't-
provide?
Well, then too, what about the city? You know, we've got to hear back from them, so.
If we do it,
Put a time on it.
Yeah, so we're good. We're locked in on this price.